So today I traded two tickers. The first ticker that I traded was JE and CBAT, CBAT. So I mostly traded both of them pre-market because they were quite the mover pre-market. Um, my trade on JE was pretty good. It was but my trade for CBAT was quite sloppy, really. So here I'll be sharing my screen. Oh yeah, overall I made like $9.55 for today overall green. So on Just Energy JE, so it was a mover from yesterday, really. Yesterday was a short squeeze going that was a sympathy play to like Polar as well as like basically Polar, yeah. So yeah, yesterday I traded made of small losses. Yeah, made small gains on it. Today it was also small gains. So let's look at it. So I traded on this morning morning panic right here. Even though it wasn't a lower high, it wasn't a higher low. I entered very close to the bottom, which is a very tight risk to reward, and which is what I was aiming for, of tight risk to reward. So I entered at 68. My risk was at 67. My original intent was to enter at with 200 shares, but I was only able to fill 198, which is pretty close to 200s anyway. So yeah, still pretty good. A mistake that I made was at 71. 71 was my goal because 71 was a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Take 3 cents to get you 71, 1 cent to get you 67. So a 3-to-1 risk to reward. But my intention was to sell 50 shares. Instead, I sold 150 shares. So I basically sold like let's see, 150, so half, so the um ugh, the fourth. Yeah, I basically sold 3/4 of my position. I intended to buy only to sell only 50 shares, but instead I sold 150 and 71, which is still pretty good given that it was my target area. Then I was holding 742. I was holding 48 for a move to like 72, right? But on this red candle here, I told myself, it's looking weak. It's looking sideways. And so I decided to just basically just sell it because it already hit my target area. So I'm happy to take it. It later did move to like 73, but I can say that it was like I took like the meat of the move, since it was like a sideways action here. And then for the rest of the day, to the market open, it was dipping. Yeah, my trade here was pretty good, really. Traded very close to the low. Very tight risk to reward, made like 5% on it, which was my original intent. It it didn't give any good buying opportunities here. Like right here, could be a buy opportunities, but it was a choppy sideways. It was a double bottom though. So if enter here risking like 55, upside of 5 cents a share move, which is pretty nice for like a scratch, really, which is still like very close to 10%. Another was at the open. I was tempted to buy this move, but it was parabolic. I don't want to chase it, so I basically didn't trade this one. The one that I did trade is CBAT. It was a very sloppy trade on my part here. So CBAT, right? I traded very conservatively. It was kind of I was kind of chasing it. The bottom was DHing, which I was hesitant to buy. And when I bought it at 331, I did give myself I did adjust my risk level to like 28, 3 cents a share, 3 cents loss. If it changed, and then aim to make like 9 cents. Very, very small. And so, yeah, I made a mistake of selling at 28 when 28 didn't actually break. It just hit 28 and then it bounced. It hit like 28 very, very quickly, and then it bounced. Kind of regretted it a little bit there. So I decided to enter at 46. It was a chase. And when I entered at 46, my original intent was to risk 340, risking 6 cents, right? But then I saw that I was chasing it. And so I decided to sell at 43 because I told myself it's a chase, not worth the wait. And was getting weaker too. So I basically sold at 43. So chase, not very good. Not good to risk to reward. Didn't like it. And then my move at the open was for a number 4 on the Tim's seventh seven patterns on his let's see framework, penny stock framework. Tim Sykes penny stock framework. A number 4 pattern. It dropped from 370 down to 310s, right? And then it went lower to 305, which is pretty nice. It did like a 20% drop. My goal is only to make like 5% on this. So with it being 5%, I actually risk basically 5 cents or less. And I was waiting for it to bottom. Make it. I plan to. My original intent to enter was risking 310, right? It went green. It went lower to 305. I didn't trade that. It went green, right? And so I decided to enter at 214. I entered 314 with 30 shares, risking 5 cents. I intended to make um, 15 cents on the stocks. So it later opened at 23, right, on the next candle, and then it went up to 36. But before that, I decided to sell. Uh, I decided to sell 10 shares. Yes, at 325. I decided to sell 10 shares at 325. And then holding 20 for a higher move to like that 29 or more. And so the stock did move to like 330, 333, and that's when I sold all of my shares. It did move to 36, but I caught the meat of the move because it later dropped down to 311 and then closed at 315. It reopened under the green candle, 4 chain, closed at 21. And then it reopened at 26 on the red candle here. and move to 340, failed to break VWAP, double topping, and then it closed at 315. And on this, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So in 3 minutes, I would have really cut my losses. So it was a good thing that I was only aiming for a small percent yield here. Instead of aiming for a move back to like 360, 320, or D40 or higher, like 350 or VWAP break, because it did a sideway actions for how many minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then it break this support at around $3, and then it flushes down to 260. A lot of people were caught there. They were panic selling at the bid. So it was good that I took my profits because it was risky. And for the rest of the day, the stock dipped down to like 190s, the high 190s. And from there it bounces back to 280. This is a nice bounce, a nice move. Very, very gradual. It did present some good buying opportunities here. Like the lowest 210, right? 210 supports. You could buy like 214, 215, risking 210, and then just continue on and sell it at 248. Or if you're aiming for a higher move, higher lows, enter here, and then 280. Yeah, it did present some good buying opportunities, but they were slow. It was like in the after it was after the big volumes, the big trade. Well, yeah, after this trade on CBAT, my final trade on CBAT, I basically stopped trading for the rest of the day. Yeah, it's small gains, but eventually small gains will add up. I just need to make it so that I need to be more patient, not trade sloppily like these two trades, because they were losses, even though there's small losses. Yeah. Oh yeah. One trade that I forgot to mention is this trade at 29. Yeah, this trade at 29. So on this trade, I entered at 29 on this screen because there was like supports at 26. I entered at 29 with 25 shares. After these two losses, I went smaller share size, 25 shares. And then I decided to sell at 331 just to cut my losses because I wasn't feeling confident on this trade. So I basically stopped basically cut my losses here because it was a good opportunity to buy with being a higher low. But as you can see here, I would have been chopped. I would have been chopped on, yeah, I would have been chopped on this move, on this green wick. I would have been chopped because my risk was right here, 26. And it dropped down to like 21, 22, 21, 22. It is still a higher low, but I did not regret selling at 31. It was a good cut anyway because I was gonna get chopped anyway. So yeah, it went down to 21, and then it went up to like the high at 390, which is pretty good. Good buy opportunity right here too. Although this one is a very quick move at 330. I didn't want to chase it, so I basically just let it go. Since the low was like at 318. And there was resistance at 366. but it was uptrending. The trend is your friend. So yeah, good buy opportunity here. Good buy opportunity here. Higher lows, higher lows. And then this right here is when the trend starting to reverse because it went to 90, drop, lower lows. I was planning to buy like around here when when it with when it was coming back to like the 51, but it dropped to a lower low, so I basically stopped. And then for here, it was just a money panic, and I was just did buying money panic on this move. Yeah, so basically overall gains on CBAT was 360. Overall gains on JE was 595, and overall total PNL was green 955. So small gains. Eventually they'll add up, and eventually maybe I'll just add size, scale up. Yeah, and that'll be all.